It's weird hanging out with you again.
I know. I'm glad we are, though.
It was nice that you sent me actual letters. It's more than any of my other friends have done. And you even wrote on that cool parchment paper. That's so Max.
So pretentious. But I love writing on it like an English poet. You deserve the best stationery.
Probably easier to write than to visit me. I don't mean that in a bitchy way. Not totally. You probably wanted to avoid awkward conversations like this.
Pretty much, yeah.
Look, the worst thing you can do is treat me like a baby. I still want to laugh and talk shit with my best friend. Can we stop? This is seriously the best view of the sunset. What do photographers call that?
The golden hour.
See? Without you here, I'd have no clue. Bet you could take some amazing shots. Those beached whales are so sad. I kind of know how they feel. At least, I'm alive here with you.
You're a real survivor, Chloe. I know you have to deal with so much.
I don't want anybody else feeling sorry for me. I can do that. Along with my parents. My dad still feels guilty about buying me that car.
Are you okay to talk about the accident?
We never actually have, huh? There's not much to say. Some prick in an SUV cut me off and I flew into a ditch.
Do you remember everything?
I saw everything in bullet time. I felt my back snap and that was the last thing I ever felt in my body. When I woke up in the hospital, I literally couldn't move a muscle.
Jesus. I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything. I'm just happy I did get to see you again. I could have ended up vanishing out of the blue like that girl from Blackwell.
You mean Rachel Amber? When was the last time you talked to her?
Never. I just read about her in the news. I didn't even know her name. You did?
This is such a different world than when we were kids, isn't it?
After that snow and eclipse, it's more like the end of the world.
It might be, but I'd like to think we can still change things for the better.
I'd like to think that too, but I don't have much hope these days.
I know things seem out of control, but as long as we're together, I don't feel afraid.
Hanging out with you makes me feel like a total kid again. You don't even know.
Listen, Chloe, I'm sorry I haven't been out to see you more. That was wrong. You're my best friend.
Max, thanks for coming out to see me. You're doing awesome.
I don't think so.
My nose is getting cold. Maybe we should get back to my place?
It is hella cold out here.
Hella? I hate that word, no offense.
None taken. It's a pretty high-tech lair.
Feels like a high-tech cell. But I am lucky my parents bust their ass to take care of me. I know it's hard for them.
They're grateful you're here with them.
Right. especially when they can't even take a walk alone. Sometimes I act like a total teenage brat just to give them an excuse to yell at me. Pathetic, I know.
Chloe, you're a great daughter. You're kind and sensitive when you don't even have to be.
Trust me, I still get my rage on. Especially when a nurse has to watch while I take a dump so she can wipe my bum. Or when doctors flip me around like I was a science doll.
I can't even imagine. But you're still amazing. You always have been since we were kids.
Thanks again for coming, Max. I, need to get my drink on. Can you bring me some water?
Oh man. She has to use that ventilator. At least Chloe doesn't weigh that much. Oh, the snow dough. I guess not everything changed. Whoa, Chloe can totally control her computer. It's so great people get this high-tech help. There's the old Chloe. Man, Joyce and William built a whole new bathroom for Chloe. They're so great. Drink up, Buttercup.
Oh man. No wonder my throat is dry. I don't think I've...
All right. Okay, that should be better. uh, I have no idea what was going on with my audio because when I started the game, the audio started playing. Oh my god, hi Baku. Not you are first time chatting on my channel. Welcome. Yeah, no, I was having a lot of audio issues earlier, which is weird because this is not the first time I'm on chapter 4 that I've been streaming this game. And everything worked when I did like my pre-test stream, but then like Life is Strange crashed and then I reopened it and then all of a sudden like the the music was like playing through my headphones, but then the introduction happened, and then it was like, let me play full blast through your speakers. And then apparently now I don't have, like, it cut out my mic. I don't even know. I don't know if how close I actually am. I mean, follower wise, I have a good number. But it's the stats. Like, you have to have the average, it's like 3 over a course of time. So it's a little finicky. Aw, I appreciate it, Baku.
Talked this much the whole year.
Have
Okay.
you ever thought about doing a podcast or something?
I wish I could punch your face right now. A podcast?
Generally, yeah.
Dude, I am a pod and a cast.
Oh my god.
Boring. Ouch.
I will generally
It was just a
stream
thought.
Fridays and Saturdays
I'm
from
just trying to help.
9 to midnight
Yeah,
Eastern
that's
Standard
become a
Time.
bad habit of mine.
You sound like an adult now. It seems like we were kids. In a
Yeah.
minute ago.
I stream pretty late. But then next week when Pokemon comes out, I'll actually be streaming I'll do a split stream. So I'll stream during the day from like 12 to 4 Eastern Standard Time. And then I'll do the standard. I'll actually probably start a little earlier and do like an 8 to midnight.
To me, it seems like yesterday we were little brats here, watching Power Rangers and destroying the kitchen.
Oh my god. We
What I
covered
will
everything in
say,
flour. Even my parents.
That was so hilarious.
I'm working
Not a
on
long time
generally
ago.
a week after, so once the VODs are
You're
off
the only
of
person
Twitch,
that I grew up with who visits me.
I'm
As you
uploading
can see,
the full
I can't
VODs
keep
to
all my other
YouTube.
friends away.
So that way anyone who like missed something wants to watch them there, that's perfectly acceptable. Oh, and thank you. I appreciate it.
You have me.
Um,
I'm not leaving you, Chloe.
it's
Well, you didn't
Chibi
visit
Studio
me a lot
Co. They did a wonderful
I
job
loved your
and
cards
were
and
very
photos,
quick.
I know I
About
wasn't
it.
around much. No excuses. I'm a loser. But I am trying to make things right.
How? Dude, you're not Supermax. And I'm not trying
I
to
am
guilt trip you.
Supermax. I have
into my parents
powers.
before.
They love you so much.
I know. My mom and dad are so cute. They always pop in here and make sure everything's okay with me.
Honestly, this is
I
like
think Joyce and
a long
Lauren
time
were
coming.
incredible.
I'd
Max,
like played around with the
the
idea
accident
for
has been
quite a
so
while
hard.
and kept like
Our
putting
insurance sucks, and the medical bills are fucking
investment,
insane.
like time and like working on the setup, but never actually
I bet.
just took the plunge. So
This
finally
tech
I was like, yeah,
must be
okay,
crazy
let's do
expensive.
it.
Along with the drugs, the nurses, the supplies. Mom and dad are always broke, and they get so frustrated. Is it worth it?
Chloe,
I mean,
you're priceless.
it's really just like find what works for you,
No pun
because there's
intended.
all different kinds
You are
of
such a
streaming
geek.
setups.
That's why I love you. Of course, I know a geek when I be one. See, I'm practically a human
I know
entertainment
that
system.
like Sugar
It would be sweet to chill out
generally
together, watch a movie
does
like when you'd spend the night at my
like
house.
full screen.
What do you want to
um,
watch?
Some
I think
people
I'm in, like,
prefer
a
that.
yellow Blade Runner mood.
I generally
I
I
always
have the
cry at
like
the
the
end.
sub screen
Plus, you know,
so
I
that I
always
can
wanted to have cool
chat
colored bangs
and
like this.
not
I
impede
know. You would look
the video
incredible
too
with blue
much.
hair. Now let's get this
Really
show
just
on the
does
road.
depend
And you better
on
not
like
fall
what you
asleep on
prefer
me
and
like
what
you
aesthetic you're
always
going
do when you watch
for.
movies.
I remember, Max. Swear I won't fall asleep.
And you can get
Not
some
when
like
you're here.
pretty decent stuff off
Not
Etsy
yet.
for like not too bad, and a lot of people will do like sales during the holidays, so I would look out for that if you are looking for some like custom banners and stuff.
Thanks. I think you missed a grain stuck in my eyeball.
Good night. Thank you for dropping in, Baku. I
Hard to
appreciate
believe how
it.
just a little sand can cause such a big mess.
It's like that Chinese proverb. A spark can start a fire that burns the entire prairie. You know, like the butterfly thing.
So I've heard.
The butterfly effect. Thank you. Good night. Da-na-na. I don't know why. I just got the Twilight. Oh my gosh. Why am I forgetting the name? That song. The Twilight Zone. Wow. It was like Twilight vampires. No, that's Twilight Zone. Da, 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 da. I have no idea what I was doing.
So cool that you're here again.
I'm glad you think so.
Am I looking for something?
Here's the DVD.
Oh, I was looking for a DVD. First try. GG easy. Wonder what they're watching. Seems spacey. Star Wars. Make a wish. Was it like morning already? That can't be comfortable. My back hurts just thinking about her sitting like that. Oh no, she's awake. But can't move to wake her up.
I cannot believe you fell asleep so fast. How dare you?
I know you were beat down after the day with me, and Blade Runner is a pretty dreamy movie
Oh,
to
it's
watch at night.
Blade Runner.
Do you think Deckard is a replicant? Sorry, I can see you're not wide awake like me.
No, I'm sorry I crashed so hard. Were you okay?
I do have a mother and father when you're not falling asleep on me.
You are a bitch in the morning.
It's the company I keep. Yesterday was such a blast.
It was great seeing you.
I know things were different when we were just dorky kids, but being with you made me feel like when we were little pirates, jumping and running through the forests again. It meant a lot to me just to chill out with you and bullshit. Fuck. I'm getting my regular head pains. Can you, pretty please, go upstairs and get my morphine injector in the bathroom?
Morphine injector?
It's total Star Trek shit. You can't even see the needle. Seriously, I need it. My parents keep the swag upstairs because they think I can't get to it. But you can, Max. Like a pirate, right?
I'm on it, Chloe.
Whew. Whew. Okay. I'm not going to say fucking. Oh, I got a message. This feels so weird. Victoria is so awful. What? Okay, I missed so many. I missed 3. Oh, which I'm gonna have to go back and do. That is for personal time.
No change to spare anymore. Now it's back to cookies.
Hmm.
They're
Ugh.
drowning in debt just to take care of their daughter. Such bullshit.
Jeez. That's so much. I can't imagine like having all of that care. Did they move her? Oh, this is technically the garage. They built the room, her room into the garage. Like, medical debt is insanely expensive. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, Max, it is so
Oh
nice
god,
to
oh,
have you
she
around.
scared me. I didn't see her.
Good morning, Max. Oh, you and Chloe are so much quieter now than when you were kids.
I remember. It's nice waking up in your house again.
Oh, William and I love it. Finally seeing you and Chloe together after all these years. After the accident.
It's 9. Okay.
I wish I was a better friend. I know Chloe doesn't get many visitors.
Oh, Max, you're Chloe's best friend for a reason. You're here exactly when she needs you.
I hope so. You guys do such an amazing job taking care of her.
We can only do so much, and she gets damn sick of her parents. That's why it's so important you came to spend time with her. Max, Chloe's condition is not improving. Her respiratory system is very weak, and she... Do you know what I'm saying?
Joyce. I'm so sorry you have to go through all this.
Bad or good, I embrace every moment with my daughter and my husband. This is what it means to be a family, and we'll always be one, no matter what.
I have to tell you how much I love seeing you and William together again.
He's been such a hero through all this. Chloe
They
and I
don't know.
lucky to have him.
They don't know.
Chloe and William seem like they still get along so good.
Yeah, those two are closer now more than ever. Chloe will actually listen to William, while she usually ignores me. Oh, it's so
Par for the
cute when
course.
they gang up on poor old me.
You rule, Joyce.
Shit, things would be different if I did. I like how you think, kid.
How are you doing, Joyce?
I'm doing the best I can, Max. I won't lie, it's difficult, but nobody said life was easy here in Arcadia Bay.
Oh.
Do you know somebody named David Madsen? He, might hang out at the Two Whales.
Well, that was random. Yeah, he's a bus driver. He comes in sometimes. Cute, quiet. Why?
Oh, I was just curious.
You always were. Nice to see that everything doesn't change.
Plus, you guys have to work, too.
Bill and I have no time for ourselves. We're working more than we're living. I even had to take a part-time gig at Pan Estates. Ugh.
Do you know the Prescotts?
I know that Sean Prescott won't be happy until he owns everything in Arcadia Bay.
Capitalism.
Stay away from his son, Nathan.
I better get back to Chloe now.
I only had one more thing.
It's
I should've
good
just done
talking
it.
with you, Joyce.
Oh, well.
You too, honey.
I'm honestly a little surprised that they didn't just like move, although I guess that's like crazy expensive, so let's
The bathroom
search
looks
the
almost the same.
cabinet.
Just more medicine.
No. Maybe in this side?
Here it is. I never thought I'd be delivering morphine to my best friend.
Man. Whew. You would talk about something? Honestly,
Nothing here.
there are worse things, but
It's cool that Chloe uses natural medicine too.
Save the ecosystem. I want to know what's in here now. Oh man. They haven't done anything with the room. Nothing. Crutches.
They bought crutches for Chloe, hoping she might walk again.
Oh.
Too bad Joyce and William can't get any help from the Prescott Foundation.
Yeah, right. Can't imagine.
I never heard much about William's brother.
To Salt Lake City to oversee a new parking lot? Okay. Yeah. Oh, having to ask about.
At least we never had to hide from Step Douche.
Hmm. Okay, down we go.
These bills should all just say, "Dear sir, you are screwed." Listen,
Damn. This is just for Chloe's basic
So
supplies.
much money.
Finally. Give me the blue pill.
I'm sorry. I'm nosy, but not precise.
Go ahead and plug it right in. It's so easy. And painless.
Okay, but get ready to yell for your folks if I screw up.
Oh, trust me. I will.
Although I don't think she'd be yelling if she screwed up.
Of course, my pain
So-
just keeps getting worse. But you caught me on a good day. Max, I'm so grateful that I'm even able to hang out with you. See, I'm getting mushy. I'm already high.
You're so adorable. Do you want anything else?
Stop me if I'm being too emo, but can you grab one of the photo albums over there? I'd like to check out some old pictures of us when we were kids.
Please. My diary is like emo ground zero.
True.
Plus, Max Caulfield does not pass up a photo op with Chloe Price.
This
Ever.
door hanger is like so creepy.
Oh my god. I made that mix for her when we were 12.
Jeez. Oh. Nothing beats the art of making CDs for people. I guess now you like make playlists and stuff, but
Does Chloe look at the garden and think about her childhood? She can't even feel the grass now.
Grab that photo.
Despite everything, they're still it's cool that in this reality, Chloe really loves skating too.
mine. Please come back over here. Thank you.
Is that okay?
Perfect. Oh my god. Look how little we are there. We look like toys.
Oh, yes, the
I
blobs.
remember that day by the lighthouse.
My dad was pissed at us. He actually tried to give us a timeout.
And you laughed at him. My dad would have banished me.
Whoa, awesome picture. We look so badass in our pirate gear.
We should have taken over Arcadia Bay when we had the
She'll
chance.
say badass, but she won't
There's
say
still time for
hella. What? It was weird.
Oh man, there we are making pancakes. I love that shot of us. It's hard to believe my dad took that picture only 5 years ago.
Literally seems like yesterday.
I wish it was.
Me too. This photo. Maybe I could.
Listen, Max. My respiratory system is failing, and it's only getting worse. I've heard the doctors talking about it when they thought I was zonked out. So, I know I'm just putting off the inevitable while my parents suffer along, and I will too. This isn't how I want things to end.
What? What are you saying?
I'm saying that being with you again has been so special. I just wanted to feel like when we were kids running around Arcadia Bay and everything was possible, and you made me feel that way today. I want this time with you to be my last memory.
Mm.
Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All you have to do is crank up the IV to 11.
What is this, an amp? What is this, an amp? Honestly, real talk, medically assisted suicide. So,
Chloe.
I'll just drift to sleep, dreaming of us here together. Forever.
right? Oh my gosh. I've played through this one a long time ago. I think before like any of the sequels or prequel was out. So I'm playing through this so I can play through the other ones.
Thank you so much.
But I
I'm
don't
so
remember
proud of
everything.
you for following your dreams. Don't forget about me.
Never.
I love you, Max. See you around.
Sooner than you think.
Makes it sound like you're also gonna commit Sudoku. Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry, William.
We gotta go back and make things like they were. Oh, I struggled with this so bad last time. No. Why is this so hard? This should not be... There we go. Okay. No! Okay. Got through that.
Someday Dad'll get one of them newfangled computers.
I hope the flash didn't scare you, Max. This is a keeper.
It's a shame
Hello?
you can't just like flash back
Hey,
to
honey.
her accident,
What?
and
Oh, I
everything
didn't
would
know you
be
had to get
just
groceries. Of course
great.
I'll come pick you up. Shit, where are my keys?
That's $1 for the swear jar.
You mean your college fund? Aha! You can't hide from me forever. And no Chloe and Max wine tasting session.
Dad.
She
Don't blow
burned
it,
the
because tonight your mother
photo,
promised to make us a
so she
world-famous
couldn't
salmon
change
surprise with
anything.
chocolate cake for dessert. Max, you'll be here too, right?
She's never leaving me.
That makes all of us.
Oh, that hurts.
Max, you are being so fucking strange. Like you're never gonna see us again.
Chloe, I'm so sorry. I tried to make things different for you. I did try. I'm sorry.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but come on. You have made things different, like my whole life. You're my best friend. I've got you and a great family. What's to be sorry for? We'll be best friends forever. And when we grow up, we're taking over the world.
Listen, whatever happens, I want you to be strong. Even if you feel like I wasn't there for you. Because I will never abandon you, Chloe. I'll always have your back.
I'm not
Always.
crying. It's just onions. I'm cutting onions at my computer. Oh my god. See, okay. It's another flashback, and the audio is playing through my speakers again. So I don't know what's going on. But I'm not gonna mess with it because I don't want it to mess with my mic again. Yeah, I don't... It must be the game and how I have no idea. Because, like I said, like earlier, the game, when I first loaded it, it crashed. And since then, like, it's just been giving me problems. To be fair, like, it's a... Despite the graphics, like, it's a slightly older game. I don't even remember when this came out. That's true. Like, I've tried to do the, like, voice meter banana and stuff to try to make things more customizable, and I can just never get my audio to work right with all of that. So
You're alive. Yes.
she is alive with blue hair
You get one
and
kiss,
roots
now you're
that need to
all
be
over
done.
me?
I'm so glad you're here.
You sound high, but thanks for the morning grope. Since we were up all night playing CSI Arcadia Bay, I was still spaced out here trying to put all this info together.
We did
Max,
it,
did
boys.
you forget we've gone over this? I hope you weren't messing around with time while I was sleeping.
Not anymore. I'm just spaced out too. Welcome back to the real world, Max.
Okay.
Let's look at the big board and see all our
Oh
pieces
my
in the
god,
puzzle
there's
so far.
so much stuff. Photo. Great. Perfect. We love achievements. Oh my gosh, I have more. Dad. Yeah. Good old Nathan. His family. What am I asking about? I hope you're okay. Juliet, are you busy? A sketchy meth head. Are you doing an investigation? Nope, just bored. Who's gonna be talking about some, like, a home... Why do I have so many messages? Oh, am I just asking everyone? Drugs. I really hope that my plant Lisa is still alive. I would feel really bad. Oh, he messaged me again. Her service is next week. I think the world will be ending. Okay.
Getting lost in all this shit.
What am I doing? Did we drag this upstairs? It was outside. They taped the book to the board.
So close yet so far away. We have to do 3 main things.
Right. What things?
1, decipher Frank's logbook. 2, get Nathan's phone to find out where he's been during the Vortex Club parties with Kate and Rachel. And see whatever hidden shit he's got in his messages.
3, beat Stepdouche Dan until he tells us about Frank, Nathan, and the dark room. And I do have a gun now.
Keep it in your pants. We'll have to do this on our own.
Dude, at least let me kick his ass, then rewind. Fine, whatevs.
Yeah, we can just give
Which I
Nathan the
can't
same
waste
treatment
on
and
shit
shoot
like
him
that.
and then rewind time.
Blackwell would be in big trouble.
You didn't even let me take that money to pay Frank off.
And I'm glad. We have to be better than that.
Yeah, you don't want to
I
steal
know.
money.
You
from
should get
the-
busy in the garage to see what dirt you can
The
dig up.
fund.
I'm gonna cyberstalk some names and see where that leads. Or to who. And be careful of Stepcrack. He's not gonna be a happy camper after you reamed him yesterday and Mom is giving him the boot.
I'm on it, partner.
Okay.
I can't.
Is he still here? Because if he was given the boot, then, like, he shouldn't be here? Oh, he's leaving.
You won this battle, Max. You broke up my family.
Oof.
I salute you.
David, I didn't try to hurt you. Ever. But I won't let anybody hurt Chloe.
Too late, isn't it? You just better be damn careful with her. Don't you wander off into the dark.
I mean, to be fair, like, I know he's blaming this on Max. But literally, he did that to himself. So... Oh my gosh, more messages. She sounds hot, so I get why. He's basically like, oh, I get it. You're gay. She didn't deny it. She did not deny it. Did he leave everything in here? I assume so. Warning, don't dial 911. What?
It looks like David finished his car repairs. Maybe there's some new clues around.
I guess he is like a gun-toting crazy man.
There's more to David Madsen than meets the eye. He should finish this letter to Joyce.
Aw. Guess I can't read that handwriting. You know, I'm not good at explaining myself or why I act the way I do sometimes. I only know that nobody has ever understood me the way you do. Never do anything to hurt you or Chloe. Overstep bounds. Yeah. Just a little bit. Pew pew pew. There are dark things happening on Arcadia Bay. I don't know. He's just a military guy. Like, this is over his head too. A student committed suicide on my watch. You kicked me out of my favorite home and my stepdaughter hates me. What? That was a wild letter.
Oh, jeez. David is packing up wedding stuff too.
Like, I feel also, she just told him that he needed to leave until, like, things got sorted out. He's, like, jumping the shark. He's just straight going worst case scenario with all of this.
Sad. It was so incredible to see William again. I wish Chloe could too. What the hell did David do for Nathan? And what did his dad do for David?
Thank you for your help with Nathan. It is appreciated. We haven't even met the guy, but like, screw him.
Should I have signed the petition? Blackwell sure isn't safe and private anymore.
Who sent that Raymond? Oh, that's a principal.
Oh, meow, Miss Grant. Twist that knife.
I didn't need a surveillance camera to see this suspension coming. Ooh.
At least he has one weird fan.
From Anonymous? Like... Wow! I'm trying to think of, like, all the characters who would write that. And I just... it must be, like, maybe an old person? Like, an older student? Because I...
Wish I had surveillance footage of that conversation.
There is a cancer at Blackwell Academy. Without me, it will continue to spread. Here's a map. Here's a map.
Surveillance cameras
Here's
at
a map.
Pan Estates?
Here's a map.
David must be working for the Prescotts, too.
That's my thought. It's a lot of cameras. Can I open any of these, or did he remove all of his equipment?
I wonder if David is going to the party.
End of the world. Okay, I know I can take a photo in here somewhere. Move the plank. This. Oh my gosh, she walks so slow.
Oh,
Bird
the
egg,
baby blue jay
birds.
eggs in the nest. I better move his... Excuse me. Just one picture, please.
Birds.
Click. Another photo from my Arcadia Bay wildlife series.
Okay, so I'm gonna move this back because
Oh, thank you. Sleep tight, my eggy
it's
wags.
probably there for protection. Oh. A
Whoa,
padlocked
that is a
locker
serious padlock
with
on
a
that
bar.
locker. Hey, David, what you hiding?
Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't remember.
For once, I don't have time to search for the code. I need to find a way to break.
I wish I could remember. What is she? Oh my gosh. Hey, girlfriend! Jeez. I don't know if it would be in this because he had it in there. And I probably wrote it down somewhere and then threw it away, of course, because that's who I am. I don't see that paper anywhere because my desk is a hot mess. Oh well. I was really
This
hoping
padlock.
it was something like their wedding anniversary, and I just don't remember. Ah, crowbar.
Okay.
Good thing we can rewind
I can use that
time.
crowbar to pry open the locker. Sorry, David, but I bet you would do the same thing as me.
Wasn't very secure. But like, Max is weak as hell.
Oh, maps, notes, coordinates, photos of Kate, Nathan. Yes.
What the hell? Oh, so he got a picture of that but didn't say anything? Okay. I see. I see.
Score. Back to Chloe now.
Alright, let's pretend that we saw nothing, did nothing. Let's put the crowbar back. Oh, I guess I still have the crowbar. Can I put the crowbar back? No. We're just, I guess, gonna have a crowbar. Are there any other photos?
It's amazing how much drama this living room has seen.
Oh. Oh, there's a note.
Looks like David already booked a room.
Can I go upstairs?
Yo, Chloe! Are you ready yet?
There we go.
I have to get back to my dorm.
Are we happy?
Very happy. I hit the secret file jackpot.
Yeah,
Kate,
baby.
Nathan, and Rachel. Plus some location coordinates. David is like a one-man surveillance army. Now let's get the hell out of here before we get busted.
Now let's go find out what Nathan is hiding in his room.
We have to be extra careful.
Max, now it's time for Nathan Prescott to be afraid of us.
Yee. Ah, yes. More cutscene audio issues. Okay, there we go. What is... He is banned from campus. I guess he's not. He's suspended. But, like, why is he here? He's hanging out a lot for somebody who's suspended.
Hey, Max. How you doing?
Don't talk to me.
Hi, Mr. Jefferson. I'm okay. And this is my friend Chloe.
Yeah,
Chloe. Why isn't somebody as cool as you going to Blackwell?
I was way too cool for this school. It's a long story. In actual files here.
I can imagine. Max, are you sure that you're all right?
It's weird just being on campus like everything's normal.
I know, lame as it sounds, life has to go on.
I think there's too much going on in my life.
On that note, Blackwell duty calls. Remember, I'm going to announce the winner of the Everyday Heroes contest tonight at the party, so I hope you'll be there to celebrate, even though I'm sorry you didn't enter a photo. I understand your reasons. You can't force an artist to work.
So, you don't hate me for what I said to the principal?
I'm proud of you for caring so much about a troubled friend, and I take hope in the fact that you have plenty of time to find your way. Just get in the habit of putting your work out there.
Thanks, Mr. Jefferson. I'll definitely be there tonight.
Me too. I'll be Max's date.
Ooh,
You
woo.
better dance with us at least once.
Nobody should have to see me dance. Plus, you don't want to watch the old hipster trying to keep up with the kids. I have some pride. Be seeing you.
Yes, you will. Hot for teacher.
Gross! You're out of control.
Not yet. Just wait until the Rager tonight.
Shut up.
Don't be jealous because Mark Jefferson thinks I'm cool.
I am so ignoring you.
Fine. Since I'm here, I'll see if I can get some dirt from Justin. Haven't talked to him in a while.
Now that is a great plan.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find out where Nathan is.
Birds. I can take a photo of some birds. But how do bird? Oh no. Is there a totem pole? Or is that on... Oh, it's right here. Oh, there's a totem up there. Racks.
One photo. For posterity.
Click, clack, rocks. And then I have to talk to Samuel.
I had to clear away another batch of dead birds today.
Ugh.
So, how are you doing, Max? Been a tough week. I know.
Yes, it has, Samuel. How are you?
Sad and confused like everybody else in Arcadia Bay. You look like you have a lot of questions,
Not
too.
just Arcadia Bay.
I definitely have questions about what's happening to the animals in Arcadia Bay.
Oh, many do. These poor creatures have no choice in what happens to them.
And he will feed this. Ask
Well,
about
I'm
squirrels.
glad to see your squirrels are still healthy and happy on the campus.
Me too. If something happened to them... Oh,
Not as long as you're here to take care of them, Samuel.
the only thing that calms them is food. Lots of food. Which reminds me that I have to feed them now.
They love it. Those squirrel
Makes me
whisperer.
mad. Climate change isn't real my ass.
How would you like a partner for a quick photo op?
As a scientist, I'm fascinated. As Michelle Grant, I'm very worried.
Arcadia
Get that
Bay
food in your
is
belly.
Look at the weather and the
I
animals.
love how
Not to mention
just
poor
like
Kate Moss.
stole that food.
We all need to look out for each other these days.
There we go. Photo op with the squirrels. Okay, okay. Cool. Next one is in the boys' store. What? Oh. It's like, what is that? But now I don't remember what I was supposed to be doing.
Thanks again for helping me fight the power.
A building permit for what?
Good thing I didn't let Chloe take that money from Principal Wells.
Accessibility upgrades. Okay. Window's still broken.
Justin, it's been so long since I've seen you.
Where is the boys' dorm? Is it over here? Is this it? Can I go in here?
Principal Wells was so loaded the other night here.
Where?
I miss her laugh when I bail off my board.
Is...
No need to go there now.
What? What am I doing?
Okay, I have to bounce.
Come hang with us at the park sometime.
Chloe fits in so easy with Justin.
Let me know when you found something. Let me know when you found something.
Oh. Oh, she said... What? I really should pay more attention to what they're saying. Can I not? Can I get
I
up
don't
there?
think the Tobanga will ever give up any secrets to us.
Topanga. Sounds like Topanga. Yep, can't get up there.
I hope Max isn't pissed that Warren asked me to the drive-in.
Hey, Brooke. How are you?
Considering
Maybe I am.
what happened
No,
to
I'm kidding.
Kate, I could be better. Are you okay?
I need to find Nathan. Have you seen him around?
I was distracted by Warren asking me out to the drive-in.
It's a school day, so Nathan should be around.
Love how she had to,
I did
like,
see him this morning
slip
heading
that
off
in.
campus. He looked more angry than usual. I wouldn't look for him now if I were you.
I have to go. Talk later, Brooke.
Good. Nathan is not around. I should
No
go back to Chloe.
trace. I didn't ask about Nathan at
I
all.
hope Max isn't pissed that Warren asked me.
Hello, Max. Thanks again for helping me fight the mountain.
Coast is clear. It would be so cool if you and me were going to school here together.
But now you can have Mr. Jefferson all to yourself.
Oh, you suck. Now let's get into Blackwell Ninja mode.
I'm so confused because are the boys and girls' dorms together? Because that's definitely the entrance to the girls' dorms.
It's so lame they don't have co-ed dorms here.
Yes, because I want Nathan Prescott in the room next door.
Good
True.
point.
True.
Wait here. Give me the signal if Nathan or anybody shows up.
I won't let you down, Batmax.
Batman.
Now I just have to find Nathan's room.
Should not be too hard. Vortex Club sucks ass.
Evan. Of course. That's why no shits were given. Evan rolls.
I like Evan's style. Skateboarding is not a crime. This is one of those skater dudes. This is a disgusting dorm. Kenai has our off, so that must be Daniel's room. Bigfoot's got big balls. That's probably one of the... It's all good in the woods. That could be it. Oh, no. It's absolutely this one.
This can only be Nathan's room.
Like, no question. Oh, shocker, it's locked. Breaking and entering. What the fuck?
Now I need to find Nathan's phone. Or anything with clues.
Oh. Oh, great. Okay. It's like I was never outside. Who messaged me? Joyce. Teenage adults. Guess it, yeah. 18. Squirrels. Rachel. No. Oh my gosh. Lauren. Chloe. Okay. The stars bother me. Why are there 57 pages? Okay, great. That's too much. Oh, gosh. I get that people like write in journals daily, but I'm just like, I could never. Oh, the music.
Nathan likes his tortured subjects way too much.
Yeah.
These films all have a dark pattern. Nathan is way into this party. Bad sign.
Party. Even told my dad to keep the pigs away from Blackwell.
Bastard. Now I remember why I hate you.
He's
and why
still
Kate
watching
will get
it.
justice.
Jeez.
Oh man. Sean Prescott might be Nathan's real problem.
I know being a Prescott is a burden. Jeez. This shithole town is going to get an enema along with a fresh brand. Don't fuck it up, son.
Too bad Nathan isn't more like his sister. She sounds awesome. And far away.
Probably because she was like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yes, Nathan sure needs diet pills. This is strong stuff.
Jesus.
Wow. Kiss ass much, Principal Wells? I'd cry too if I had him for a father and had to wear that suit.
Little sailor suit, Nathan.
What the hell are all those marks on the floor?
Why is this set up like a porn studio? To be real.
That monochrome camera is brand new and cost about $6 grand.
Jesus.
Bastard. I thought Victoria had the photo bling, but once again, the Prescotts rule.
I have to remember to take a photo before I leave the boys' dorm.
Damn, Nathan. That's a nice shot. It's so damn creepy, but the guy has his own style.
He likes his black and white photography.
I don't think one book can guide the Prescotts.
A teen parent guide to anger management. Well, he's definitely got that.
That is so Chloe.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
absolutely.
my god.
Bruh.
Chloe.
Bruh, you better be taking this photo. I didn't take the photo. I would have taken the photo.
Whale songs? Maybe this is the only soothing thing Nathan ever hears.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
That must be the lamp Chloe broke when Nathan drugged her.
Mm-hmm. Can I...
Nathan
there
is
anything
way into
else?
this party.
No.
Bad sign. Let's
Oh.
find out what you're hiding.
I can move the couch. Such a bad hiding
Oh,
spot.
yes, little phone. You are mine now. Now I have Nathan's phone, so I can show it to Chloe. Well, before Nathan comes
Gotta
back.
pretend like I'm never here. Like I never was here. Diploma.
Cool, now it's opened.
Aha, and now it should still be locked. Haha. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay. Didn't mean to do that. Wrong button. Window. Can I not do it anymore? I'm gonna be really upset. Maybe it's not that one? It has to be that one. Can I just not take the photo anymore? Because I went inside. I'm going to be so upset. Oh, wait, no, because they're right there. So let me take the photo. So there's footsteps. This is wrong in so many ways. Won't even give me the option. Even though you can clearly see them. I'm pretty sure... Yeah. I didn't already get it. And I don't think there's any actually getting the photo. What the hell? Upsetty spaghetti. Okay, I guess. Oh my gosh.
Damn, Max, you're finally back. I got worried. So
I,
what did you find?
His
Rewinded
room was
time.
clean and creepy.
Clean
Check this
and
out.
creepy.
Boom, Nathan. We got you by the balls, fucker.
What are you doing in my dorm? You're such a nosy bitch, Max.
Stop right there, Nathan.
Make me, ho. Max, I
Warren
got
to save the
this.
day yet again.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Yes,
You are
payback.
so fucking dead.
He had a gun.
Get off me, bro.
Yes. Oh man. Do I want him to continue? Absolutely. Shit. I don't know. I know, it's a tough choice. Cause like, I don't want Warren to get in trouble because if he stays, and like, I feel like I should. I mean, he's on the ground.
Warren, stop it! Come on.
Oh, my head. Why are y'all looking at me like that, huh? You and you're all dead.
Let's go. Now.
Plus, my dad is on his way. You're all fucked. He owns you.
Even
Can
if
I do
Nathan
it now?
definitely deserved a beating, we should try to be better than that.
Rude. Can't. Rude. Rude. I'm so upset that I can't take that photo because I forgot about it.
Damn, that was intense. Warren, thank you so much.
For what?
For headbutting Nathan Prescott. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was.
I almost went crazy there. Like Nathan.
You're not anything like him.
Good to know. So where are you going? I better stick with you guys. Just in case you need me to get my Hulk on again. Or should I call the cops on Nathan?
No police. Not yet. So maybe you better,
Warren, me and Max have to do this on our own. No offense.
It's cool. Whatever I can do to help.
What you can do is find out anything you can about Nathan's father.
I'm on it. Between the snow and eclipse, I'm assuming the apocalypse is around the corner.
And thank you. Seriously. I'll call you later.
You better. I'm feeling pretty alpha now.
Yes, you are.
I could just beat the shit out of Nathan Prescott.
Man, that guy is so fucking in love with you.
I know.
He really did give a serious beatdown to Nathan.
It was a little scary to watch him do that.
Now let's make a date with Frank.
Will he even answer you?
Frank always answers when he wants money.
I was gonna say, I've got money.
Like I said, Frank wants to see me right now.
Let's not keep him waiting.
Yeah, if you owe him a shit ton of money, like, you'll be like, hey, bro, guess what? Man. Why is he chilling with, like, all the dead whales?
God. I hate seeing those poor whales like that.
Me too. I just think of their families in the ocean out there looking for them. Well, that asshole's gonna help us find Rachel.
Or what? You'll actually shoot him? Chloe, do not count on my rewind. Seriously.
Obviously, I'm not counting on you. That's why I have a gun. And I might even save you someday.
About time.
I am so going to hit you.
Picture
There's
of
no
a
way we
dead
could've guessed
whale.
This is what would happen to us when we grew up.
I'm looking forward to the day when we can just go on a road trip to Portland.
Fuck yeah. You, me, and Rachel.
Absolutely. So let's play this cool, okay?
Don't think that's
just
going.
talk to Frank so we can get that code for the book from him. That's all.
Got it. No dicking around.
Let's roll.
Gosh, could you imagine being like, I want gum, and you just stick up somebody for some quarters. All right, Max, time to hustle a little bit. I want a photo. I want a photo.
So now I may not know quantum speak, but there has to be an explanation.
Photo of the dead whale. I mean, there is kind of an explanation for why, like, when whales beach, they beach together. Because they hear one of their, like, family mates, whatever, in danger, and then try to go rescue, and then they all end up beached. But yeah, it's a little.
It blows my mind that I was just here with Chloe in an alternate reality.
Oh yeah, that was here. Wow. Yeah, okay. Cool. Dog bowl.
Oh, look. The Wonder Twins. You should have come alone.
She's my partner.
Ayo.
Yeah, or bodyguard. So let's get to business. Where's my fucking money?
Well...
I don't have the money. Yet.
Oh, really? Then why did you text me that you did?
Because I wanted to tell you in person.
Oh, I'm truly touched, Chloe. Now why are you losers really here?
We just want to ask you some questions.
You have some serious lady balls. No.
I mean, is she surprised?
Jesus, okay. But I'm not getting you high.
Frank, we're not here to get high.
No, you don't look like the type. Not like Chloe here. So what do you hardy boys want?
Just the names of some of your clients.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, is that
okay.
all? Oh, well, why didn't you just tell me? How about I just give you the keys to my RV while I'm at it?
Oh, you know what? Actually, technically already did. I wonder how he got his keys back. Those things were on the roof.
You already did.
Ah, you fucking mental. I lost my keys, but I changed the lock.
Oh.
You better goddamn not be snooping around here.
No, I'm not.
Oh, Christ, I hate you Blackwell shits. You expect everything for free. You're not getting any handouts from me. I work for a living, you understand?
Yes,
He
Frank.
works.
Without those Blackwell shits as customers, you wouldn't have any work at all. Dude, you're a drug dealer.
You snobby whores. Don't come into my home and judge me. That's why I go to church. And you want something from me? How about a blade up the ass, huh?
Ooh.
Calm down, Frank. Let's just talk.
Don't you ever tell me what to do.
Oh.
Get it, bitch?
Oh.
Get it?
Step the fuck back now!
Oh, no.
Pompadour!
Ah!
You fucking killed my dog!
Oh my god!
Ah! I can't rewind. At least not yet. Oh dear. Please tell me that I can rewind.
Chloe.
I just shot a man and his dog. I killed Frank Bowers.
You saved my life, Chloe. It was self-defense for both of us.
Max? Frank is really dead.
I know, but we can't stop now. We have to find that code. Fast.
Before the cops come.
Can I not rewind?
That's it. Let's get out of here.
You're not...
I'm sorry.
You're not even gonna try? Oh, okay. I was like, yo. Oh, it took us back here. Okay, let's... Is there an option
Listen,
where
Chloe,
we don't
I
shoot
can tell you for a fact
anyone?
that this will not go well.
Max, I should have known you would be kind and rewind. So tell me exactly what I need to do here.
Shit.
You won't like this, but you need to get rid of that gun.
No, Max, I don't like that at all. But I trust you. And girl, if I need that gun, you better rewind fast.
Yeah, fair. Yeet.
I don't have the money.
Frank, After our last meeting, I don't want any weapons involved. Could you put your knife or whatever in the RV until we're done talking?
After you pulled a fucking gun on me, you want to negotiate my safety? I didn't trust you before, and now I do less. God, I hate you, Blackwell shit.
No.
You act like you own this town, like I'm your puppet. Nobody owns me. You understand that?
Calm down, Frank. Let's just talk.
Don't you ever tell me what to do. Get it,
Oh
bitch?
no, so
Get
what
it?
happens?
How do you like my blade, kid? Huh?
Does she get stabbed?
Chloe!
Get off of me!
Motherfucker!
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's not the answer. Let's try
Listen,
this
Chloe.
again.
Max, I should have known you would be.
Please watch your mouth. You have no social skills here, and you will piss off Frank immediately.
You kind of love this, don't you? Fine, I'll try being like you for a change. Or how you used to be.
Maybe this will work. Okay.
Frank, your dog is kind of scary. Could you
That'll
please
work.
close the RV door?
You aim your gun at me, but you're scared of my dog? That figures.
Okay. We don't have to worry about Pompidou.
Okay, there, you're safe. Now what do you want?
Just the names of...
Oh, is that all?
Listen, Frank. I'm sorry to be such a nuisance, but this is important.
Yeah, everything's important these days. But I can tell you're not bullshitting me.
There's no time for that, Frank. I just need a little bit of information.
Yeah, well, it always starts with just a little. And Chloe here knows all about that, don't you?
Come on, Frank, this isn't about me now.
Yeah, right, okay. Both of you are giving me a headache. No deal.
Frank, we didn't come here to fight. This is so much bigger than us.
What, you come in peace? After you aimed a fucking gun at me and then pulled the trigger.
To be honest, Frank, you scared me. You held a knife on my friend. I didn't want to pull the trigger.
I could tell by the way you held that pop gun, with both hands like it was a magnum. Or maybe I shouldn't have brought that knife to a gunfight.
I only want to shoot with my camera. I swear. Ask Chloe.
Look, Frank, Max doesn't need a gun anyway. So are we cool? Please?
Okay, we're cool for now. But my dog isn't. And if you try any shit, he will bite your head off. He's done it before.
We're only here to talk. I wouldn't mess with your dog.
Shit, you wouldn't have time. You like dogs?
Of course I do. I heard you even rescued a bunch of fight dogs.
True.
That's amazing.
No, alright, it was just the right thing to do. I couldn't stand to see those poor animals treated like slaves. That's how I came to own Pompidou.
That's very cool, Frank. Your dog is lucky you came along.
Poppers.
Maybe we can focus on rescuing Rachel now?
Rachel? Is that why you're really here?
Yes, we're so close to finding her now, Frank. We need all the help we can get now. Especially from you.
You and Chloe do not know Rachel like I did, and I couldn't even help her. You're in way over your heads. Why don't you just go play in your clubhouse?
Listen, I read Rachel's letter. I know how much she cares about you.
Is this the smart one?
Huh? The one in my RV? Are you fucking insane? You read my private letter? Man, there is something about you that is so wrong. I don't trust you at all. Now get out of my face.
We don't have much time, Frank. Rachel needs you.
It's too late. She's gone. You don't even know her.
Like you did? I loved her, asshole! And she loved me. I know that.
Chloe, you don't know shit. You were part of her problem. Always trying to take her away from me. Always!
Calm down, Frank. Let's just
Don't
talk.
you ever tell me what to do. Get it, bitch? Get it?
Step the fuck back now!
Oh my god!
Gosh! You actually shot me. I wasn't gonna hurt you. Oh, this fucking hurts. Oh, it hurts.
Chloe! You shot him.
I know.
You're both fucking crazy. What do you want?
We just want the code for your account book.
Now!
You're fine, whatever. Just put the goddamn gun down. You already shot me, all right? There. Now leave me alone, all right? Just get out of my life.
Do you want us to call an ambulance or...
No, thanks. You know what? I'll manage somehow without the police.
Oh, right.
Let's bounce.
I thought the dog was gonna come out there for a second. Can I rewind him getting shot? But not everything? I don't think I can. I really don't want to have him shot.
Listen, Chloe. I can tell you for a fact that this will not go...
Max.
Be careful. I feel like watching your mouth is going so good. I just said the wrong
Please
thing.
watch.
You kind of...
Okay, close the door.
Frank,
Was the right call.
You ain't... There, you're safe.
Oh, maybe I
Now,
should
what do
have
you
told her to
want?
get rid of the gun.
Just the names of some of your clients.
Oh,
Can
is
I-
that all?
I'm
Listen.
sorry.
Yeah.
It was the right.
Yeah,
Come on, Frank.
all right. Okay.
Frank.
I fucked up with the
To be honest,
telling
can
him that
tell-
I was in the
I
in this
only-
place.
Look, Frank.
we're all...
Shit.
The dog rescue thing.
No.
That's...
Maybe we can...
Yes, we're...
You and Chloe.
Okay. Okay.
Frank, you knew Rachel almost better than anybody. And you know more than us. Together, we could find her. Do you have anything to lose?
When Rachel vanished, I pretty much lost everything. I can't stand not knowing where she is. Not hearing her voice or her laugh anymore.
We can change all that. It's up to you.
Help us find her, Frank. Please.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
really
I think
need
this
your
is the right
client
call.
list.
Well, if there's a chance in hell, you two dorks can find
Yes.
Rachel. Yeah,
We
okay.
did it, gang.
My dog isn't barking at you, so I guess that's a good sign.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Frank.
We did
Seriously.
it.
It's hard to take you characters seriously, but I want to. Good luck.
Oh, my avatar did not like that. I moved too quickly. We
That was cool.
got
Frank gave up
through
the code to
that
help us.
somehow.
Rachel must have seen something good in him.
Okay. Do, 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 do. Why are we just taping everything to this board that can't be pinned?
Chloe, are you okay?
I think there would be like a table or something.
I'm glad things worked out okay with Frank. It's nice to have one less enemy in Arcadia Bay.
Amen to that.
We successfully did not get him or his dog shot. After several attempts.
Focus on this board and start tying these clues together.
Oh my gosh. We just left. Stop by later if you both want to party. No. Selecting all of the correct clues.
I have to analyze. There's a lot of numbers in here. Couldn't hurt to give this pin code a whack.
Something's probably like
There
definitely
has
his
got
phone.
to be some good shit in his phone. I just need the code to unlock it.
Paper?
Holy shit. Nathan is seriously unhinged.
Yeah.
But those numbers might be useful.
Feeling that, and the phone. And the SIM card.
If there is a dark room, we better find it. It's a good thing Chloe slipped all these files. Oh, so busted. It's good to see the Prescotts can't cover up all their tracks.
Miss Hoyta's intro to literature class. Nathan was sent back to his dormitory for the day without a proper write-up for his files. It's just like,
Okay, Max. Let's blow this code up and go home.
let's hope that that's right.
Max, I know we can
Roger that. Let's start hacking.
Okay. Oh wait, I should probably... It's probably one of these codes on the paper. Let me get my pen so I can write things down. Oh god. Moving everything on my desk. So... Oh my gosh, no, did I accidentally draw out my pen? Come on, pen. It's not working for me. Use one of these other ones. 0, 0, 5, 8, 9, 5, 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 1. Is that a 3 or a 9? A G? Looks like GG88. It's probably 9s. 5, 4, 2. This one was... Oh my god, I can't press them. I'm so pressed. I can't press them. 5, 3, 5.
Oops. Bad code.
I can't. Oh. Oh. 5, 8.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
8, 4, 3, 1.
You locked it, dumbass.
Ah. Would he be dumb enough to have 1111?
Oops. Bad code.
Maybe it's his birthday? 9/29. Maybe it's like 0929 or 2995. 0198 7063. Okay. Unlock. I keep forgetting I can't press these. Let's see. 0198.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
7063.
You locked it, dumbass.
Oh my gosh. This should not be this hard. Oh. 919.
Oops. Bad code.
I feel like... Did I miss a number? Seven 7063. I guess there's also 1010 and 8603. One in Fort Lauderdale. Maybe we'll get lucky?
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Of course not.
You locked it, dumbass.
If anyone has any suggestions, would be... Can I rotate this any? I feel like I had trouble with this last time. Did I put in 9988?
Oops. Bad code.
I don't remember. I think I did put in this one.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Should mark through the ones I've used. I know I tried this one. Oh. One.
You locked it, dumbass.
Huh? Not that one. Yeah. I'm struggling. 3, 5.
Oops. Bad code.
Okay, mark through that one. I was trying to like not have the correct number at all.
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy. You locked it, dumbass.
Nope. Oh, 63.
Oops. Bad code.
I don't think I have the number at all. Unless it's his birthday. Oh, 09. 29?
Yeah, I knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Maybe 2995?
You locked it, dumbass.
It's not 2995. It's not 0929. Maybe just the year. His birthday is 09 29 1995.
Oops. Bad code.
So I've tried the month and day. I guess just the year. Which is not it. The day and year. Maybe the month and year. 0995.
Yeah, I
Nope.
knew it wouldn't be that easy.
Okay, I'm officially out of codes that I wrote down. These are 4s, right? They have to be. This would have been so much easier. Why didn't I do this? 0058, okay. 9535, yeah. I did not write down 4436. Five, 4, 3, 1. 3. It's a 3. Oh my gosh. 3988. What is this handwriting? Four, 4, 3, 6.
You locked it, dumbass.
It's not that. So 3, 9, 8, 8.
Oops. Bad code.
Okay, that didn't work. I'm about to look this up. Like, bro. Okay, I've looked. I tried 0198. I've tried 7063. Oh my gosh. It could be his birthday, and I've been putting 9. August is 8, right? Oh my gosh. I'm brilliant. It's fine. So we can retry those. Let's see. 7063 1010 8603. I tried that. So it has to be something to do with his birthday, and I'm just dumb as bricks. Okay. So let's... It's 8/29/1995. So we know it's not 1995, so it could be 0829, 0895, and it's not 2995, so 0829. Aha! Ha! Ha! You sold me water. It's fine. I definitely know my months and number correlation. Yes, I do.
This is all about Nathan trying to score for the Vortex Club party. Nathan was jonesing hard the night of the party. He didn't have enough drugs.
Jesus, charge me double. Must be nice to just, you know, throw around that money.
Drug dealer drama.
You upstep, bro? Peruvian flake, skidoo acid. Hold on. 302, and he needed more the same night 24 minutes later. What the hell?
God, Nathan. You're out of control. So it was you. Now I can officially call you a psycho stalker.
Yeah, true.
Is this from Nathan's father? That's brutal.
Being a husband is not an excuse anymore. This is a business, not a hobby. Impress me. Ugh. Okay, cool. Cool. We got that done. Oh my god. How did she screenshot and print those out so quickly? I'm impressed. Not
Thanks
only...
to David's own investigation, I should be able to find out what Nathan did during the party's week.
Not only do I have rewind power skills, I can also print screenshots from phone on paper out of my ass. Okay, well, definitely the coordinates. I don't even have to look at that.
Does David know what's going on with Rachel, or is he just paranoid about everybody?
Follow Rachel Lighthouse. He avoids a dorm. Lighthouse. Oh, possession of a controlled substance.
David really has been on Rachel's ass for a while. She should have been upset.
Maybe the map?
Maybe he was trying to help Kate in his own messed up way.
In a really messed up way. Don't trust grown men with goatees. Wow, judgmental. I already labeled her as guilty.
Fail. Abort. Wrong clues.
Oh, I need 3.
Looks like David was tracking somebody's car. Maybe even Nathan's. Good clue. Looks like this is not I hope in this case that David has good tracking skills.
W and PKS. That must be.
Look at all these license plates.
No.
I hope he was tailing Nathan. Nope. Maybe I should try to link other clues together. You need to get rid of these damn cameras, David.
Placement of cameras. Yeah, I don't feel. Had to have been.
I'll have to analyze these plates and coordinates to see if Nathan was under David's surveillance. Spies are up. Max, there's no logical link between those clues. And that's all she wrote.
Oh, there we go.
Please let me find some clues about Nathan in here.
David's clues. Frank's clues.
Let's look at Frank's drug deals during the week of the party. Frank's account book. But the client names are encrypted. Frank is for sure the local dealer, but
we have...
I doubt Rachel was carrying drugs for him. Right?
Nathan Prescott has come to the office to warn me that Rachel Amber has been a drug mule. Yeah. Sure.
So, what happened to Rachel after this? She dumped Frank, but I don't think he would hurt her. Rot must stand for Rottweiler. That does fit Nathan. Rotten.
Okay. So that... Oh, we only need 2 clues, so like...
Yes! The game is on.
I don't...
Now, talk to us, account book.
Surprising.
Tell us everything.
Oh, I have to like... Why is he... Pussies can't fucking fight. He got his ass kicked and he's talking shit. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Let's see if I can find any deal. Okay, Max.
Oh,
remember these names and see how Nathan fits in with all this.
Do I care about anyone else's name? Katie, Miss Fancy Car, Nacho, Joseph Stella. Okay. Simon, Logan, Steve, Joseph, Chloe. Yeah, I think we just care about Nathan.
Frank sure is keeping his customers satisfied. He could open a store.
A rot.
Hmm. 2 deals with Nathan on the same day? Party supplies, no doubt.
Oh, well, that definitely matters.
Everybody in Arcadia Bay must be high. That explains a lot.
If you were a dog in his code book, what would you be? Oh, I don't want to.
If Frank applied this kind of detail to his life, who am I to talk?
Molly, ADHD, 5 pills. Does this say $380? Oh, that's 500. Whew. Oh, that's cocaine and acid. Jesus.
I wonder what dog name Frank would have given me.
Skidoo acid. Don't do drugs, kids. Select that one and that one.
Yes. These are all the times and places for Frank and Nathan's deals. That's it, Max. Great. Now, how do I find out which car is Nathan's to match the coordinates?
Oh.
Yep, another car David was tracking.
So I have no idea.
Of course Nathan drives an SUV.
That's
overcompensating, as usual.
Excuse me, Max. That is not an SUV. That is a truck.
Interesting. Is this Nathan's car?
So his he's a Twilight fan? That's what I'm getting. He's a Twilight fan.
Why the hell are you following these people? And to where?
Ah! That one, and that one, and that one.
Looks like this isn't the right combination.
What? So then it must be this one? Oh,
Who does this car belong to?
SFX Tender. He would be a tender fuckboy.
Okay, let's find out whose car this is.
There we go.
Oh, yes. Now we're finally getting somewhere. Chloe, let's plug in these numbers and see if they lead to an actual address.
Aye, aye, Captain. Here we come, Rachel.
Yeah. Where are we going? Oh my gosh. I am a PI. You can call me PI Max.
Take a breath, Max. Go through all this data and you can find out where Nathan took Kate after the party.
Oh my gosh, this is so much information. 3 things. Okay.
Was Frank meeting Nathan at the junkyard?
I have to figure out which one matches. So we've got 10-7 at 3:02 and 3:26. Oh my gosh, this is the same day at 10:50. Ten 4 at 10:24. Or 10:4 at 5:27. And 10:1 at 1:10. Okay. Nothing there. Don't have anything for that. 10:4 at 5:40 at Blackwell at $900. Jesus. I doubt it's that one, because this was at Blackwell. $10.7. So this one was Beach. And this one was Blackwell. $10.7. This one was at Beach. Goes to the beach a lot. Boondocks. The Boondocks.
So, this infamous party was the 4th.
Okay, so it has to be... It's probably... Whichever one was the Boondocks. This one. So select that. No. No! There's too many things on this board. What's the 10-4 paper? It was one of these. Not that one. But this one. So then we just need the boobies.
I know Nathan wasn't looking for Bigfoot in the forest.
Looking for 10-4.
Somebody is stocking up on gas. Why?
10-4. It's gonna be this one at 10-24. This was beforehand.
No doubt that Nathan stays in his dorm room.
Jesus.
So he could be hiding clues there too.
No, I'm looking for...
Not much out there.
But the time matches... It's gotta be this one.
Chloe, this is definitely the place.
Let me dig
Look
up some
at
more
me.
clues here.
Look at me go.
Nope. Nothing, Max. There's nothing here. Just some shitty old barn.
Let's keep searching and find out who owns this haunted barn.
I'm on this. Hold on.
I bet it's the Prescotts.
Somebody named Harry Aaron Prescott.
I'm shocked.
Who would have thought?
Should we call the police?
Fuck that. You know the police here are like Nathan's private security, right?
That's so messed up.
As you've noticed, this whole town is messed up. We can't trust anybody. Except each other. So we have to go out to that farmhouse by ourselves.
Yeah, that sounds
I was afraid you'd say that.
fun.
We could call Warren since he kicked Nathan's ass.
It's just the two of us, nobody else. And I'm not scared at all. You have the power. I feel like we're this close to finding Rachel. We have to find her, Max.
We will. But remember, my power isn't infinite. We still have to be careful. Do you hear, Chloe?
Yes, sir.
Ah, perfect. Of all the things, I realize she doesn't have another car, but like of all the things to roll up in,
Holy
you're gonna
shit, this is scary.
it's
I know.
the loudest
But we're
vehicle.
here. Let's go find the best way in.
Okay.
Whoa, check this out. Fresh tire tracks.
Dude, somebody was just here.
Then we need to get in that barn.
I was worried. I almost forgot to take a picture, but the next one is inside the barn. Why don't you use your lockpick skills, Chloe? Look at me go. First try.
Chloe, I found the front door. Come on.
Okay, where?
Oh, yes! Maximus rules.
The second platform.
God, this is way too Blair Witch. I have goosebumps all over.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that likes
on,
abandoned
Max.
barns.
Hey, check out this old chest.
That's
little
about to be
louder,
like.
Chloe.
Is it locked?
Jeez, that is ancient.
Jackpot. Old shit.
No, look closer.
Harry Aaron Prescott and family donate new library to Arcadia Bay. Prescott Industries celebrate grand opening. The Prescotts bring bomb shelter boom to town.
Nice scrap.
Bomb shelter boom.
You search for more clues and I'll scope out the area.
What, are people worried?
Yes, old Prescott clippings. But that can't...
This tractor has paid its dues.
Old tractor.
Okay, there's no reason for anybody to drive out here. But there
We
must
did.
be.
There's very obviously something hiding right here. Like, oh, okay, can I...
Nothing here.
Really? Nothing? Nothing? Oh. Just played a trick on me.
Just rotting wood.
I feel like it should make it... Yeah, no one was here. Not me.
Huh. These hooks are used to lift haystacks. I saw them in a Friday the 13th movie.
Oh, not creepy at all.
The good old days.
Ugh. I wish we could still get milk for 60 cents a gallon. Bacon.
So many haystacks, so few needles.
Maybe...
If a zombie shows up, I have my weapon.
No, it's a horrible weapon. Well, I guess it's
lots of info here.
better than none.
Even Harry Aaron Prescott was into selfies.
Okay, I have to get upstairs somehow. Oh. Oh. Something's here.
Whoa. What is this?
Secret
It's
tunnel.
totally brand new.
Secret tunnel.
Why?
Can I go upstairs now?
No more secrets, Sean Prescott.
No, Supermax. You can't open this with your bare hands.
Gotta find something.
Okay, Chloe. I found some kind of hatch, but it's locked. I got this.
Oh.
I hope.
Can I get... Oh, here we go.
Chloe, can you give me a hand?
Sidekick at your service.
Look at me. Girl
Pump
wonder.
up and away, Supermax.
I dig having minions.
Yeah, but... I have to, like... Oh, I expected that to go through the floor. To be honest. we're up here now. Good. Good, good. There is a bird friend here somewhere that I would like to take a picture of. Bird friend. Oh, here you are. Bird friend. He was not happy about that. Ooh.
Nope. I can't pull this rope without tearing my flesh off. I need to hook this up to something heavier.
Oh, I know. Maybe this. There we go.
Max Guyver strikes again.
I gotta get down. And get down again. Great. Down the hatch.
Damn, this is heavy.
Secret tunnel.
Is this?
That
jackpot
is so much longer than what was there.
Do I even need to say how weird this is?
You just did. Who built this kind of place?
A Prescott, of course.
Oh, that was a long scene.
This bunker is so surreal. This is too heavy to break, so I'll need a code.
I'd say that's a freaking huge ass door. Oh. I wrote down codes earlier. Oh,
yes!
Look at
I
me
thought that only worked in the movies.
writing things down. I'm so proud of myself.
Open sesame.
Stocked and ready for the apocalypse. This must have cost a fortune. Come on.
Gonna look at everything.
More survivalist supplies. Water supplies. It's like in David's garage bunker.
Yeah, I don't...
Look at these cans.
It's a lot of
David
canned
must shop at
mushrooms.
the same store.
Which does not sound good.
Whoa. This says it all about Nathan. He needs help.
Primary psychiatrist over 5 years. I should stop seeing your son. You have disregarded my rather dire and immediate suggestions for his and others' well-being. Know the extent of his challenges, but I feel you refuse to acknowledge the role you play in his mental health. If I do not have your support, I cannot treat Nathan. That's really important. Like, your parents' support, or your, like, familial support, even friend support during stuff like this does make a difference.
Duct tape in a bunker is always a bad sign.
Is it? I feel like duct tape is going to be one of those pretty essential things.
I guess Nathan needs the most expensive printer in the world.
That is a huge printer. Like, You're printing huge things on something like that.
That son of a bitch.
That's so much money. Stormbreaker bunker. $1,350,650. Jesus.
Talk about tortured.
Look at all this weird shit.
I can't even do it. The intro.
Ah, the Apocalypse Entertainment System.
Prescott's in creepy art.
Oh. Binders full of women.
Come on, let's see what this shit is all about.
We are.
Victoria?
Okay. A binder marked Victoria, but it's empty.
Look, the next one says Kate.
Oh no, Kate. No.
God, I should have killed that bastard back there.
Kate wasn't the first. All those binders are filled with other victims.
Victoria has to be next. Nathan must be planning to dose her tonight at the Vortex Club party.
Rachel. This can't be real. These are all post shots, right? Right?
Chloe, look at her face. She's out of it.
Maybe Nathan paid her a shitload of cash to do this. She probably would have.
I don't think so. Why is he putting her in the ground like that? Where?
The junkyard. Max, we have to find that spot now. Then we can see what he did. There's no way she's dead. No way. She posed for those pictures, Max. I know it. Please, let's go.
Oh my god. Rachel. Kate. All these files.
Oh, I can't put these back.
This place actually feels evil.
I'm gonna use this computer. I'm gonna see what's
Let's
on
see
here.
what's in
Oh
here.
my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. 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 Anything else?
These newspapers are all about Rachel and Kate.
Jeez. Oh.
Needles. Gross. This must be the crap that Nathan gets from Frank.
Oh. What in the world? Time to leave. Time to leave. The door is shut. Oh, okay. I was about to be like, What is happening? More audio weirdness. It's like the music playing my headphones, but the sounds like of the truck are not. Yeah, so that is an interesting thing. Oh, what is happening? I don't want it to be weird again, but I want to fix it. Kind of hoping that you can hear it through my microphone. All this time. Ugh. Oh, jeez. Oh. I literally cannot imagine.
I loved her so much. How could she be dead?
Jesus. Oh. I really hope Twitch doesn't, because the song, I don't want them to mute me again. It's a pretty crazy scene. I'm also impressed that she knew exactly where that. I mean, just because she's. Oh, it's a deer. Oh, wait. Is the deer supposed to be Rachel Amber? Because I never really picked up on that. Okay. Okay, are we at the party now? Because it's pumping. What in the world? Oh, he painted his truck. Because that was the same license plate,
last party.
but it was green.
Chloe, we can go right to the cops. We have proof.
Fuck the police. Rachel wanted us to find her. So we could get real justice.
Real justice.
And revenge. The Prescotts have had this coming for 100 years, and nobody is gonna get in my way. Especially with your help. Right?
I'm with you to the end, Chloe. You know that.
End of the world party. She's bringing in the gun.
Oh, shit. This is like that eclipse.
You're right. Look at the outline.
I can't tell if they're different.
What is
There
that?
can't be two moons.
Jesus, Chloe, look up at the sky.
What?
Beautiful. I don't give a shit. The world is ending. Cool.
You're not listening. Something major is going down.
That's right. Nathan Prescott is going down.
She mad.
Welcome to the end of the world, ladies. I'm glad you decided to escort me.
You look really good, Warren. Are you alright after today?
I'm glad you stopped me. Nathan is dangerous.
Where is he?
I didn't see him at the dorm again. I was held up in my room.
Dude, have you been drinking?
Well, if you consider half a beer drinking.
Let's go, Max.
He has zero tolerance.
I know this is a bad time, but can I get one picture? I've been feeling like this might be actually the end of the world, so I want to have something for prosperity.
No? I don't blame you, Warren.
I know. I'm a pain in the booty. Just one picture.
Action.
We've got no time for this shit. Come on, Max.
Sorry. I just wanted to feel like a normal student after this week's ultra-violence.
Yeah.
I never hit anybody like that before. I was always the one getting my ass kicked.
Hey, we still need your expert help. If you see Nathan, text me immediately, okay?
Yes, please.
And do not let him see you.
He won't. I know how to be invisible here.
Not to me, Warren. Text soon.
Aw, poor Warren. He loved her. Oh yeah.
Can I take your code or anything?
Getting pumped.
No, I didn't see any tablet with cat pics.
A tablet with cat pics.
Where the hell are you?
I hate touching all these clothes.
It is kind of nasty.
Plus, some of the Vortex Club always give me attitude. Hey, Max. Welcome to the end of the world. Do you want me to check anything in?
No. No.
No thanks, Stella. Have you seen Nathan yet?
No, thank God. That boy creeps me out.
Yeah.
Wait,
Great.
some girl just asked about Nathan before you came in.
What girl?
She had blue hair, dressed like a
Who would have
punk.
thought?
I've seen her putting up those Rachel Amber posters. I'm stuck here, so I'm sorry I can't help you.
So why are you working at a Vortex Club party?
That's true.
I didn't think you wanted to be a member.
Screw that. I'm here for the job.
Oh, does it paid?
Do you notice anything unusual about the Vortex Club tonight?
Yeah, I noticed they don't give a shit about Kate Marsh. I'm glad for the job, but I think Principal Wells should have canceled the party.
True.
Guess I'm not cool enough.
Yes, you are, Stella. You're smart, honest, and you bust your ass for Blackwell. I hope everything
Why am I
turns out your way.
talking? I need to be like
Thank you,
inside.
Max. I really appreciate that. Hey, your face looks so intense. Are you okay?
No, I'm actually not okay. I just need to find Nathan. And don't get too close if you see him.
Hell no. This is homework, not a party. I'll text you if I spy him. Good luck.
Thanks. Flashing warning.
I love this song.
Oh my gosh. I don't know a single school where parties are like this. It's quite loud. Okay. I just want to get through and
We need to find Nathan and take him down.
yep, okay, excuse me, thank you, pardon me. Is this a bathroom? Because there's a photo in here.
Hey, Max. What are you doing in here? If I get sick now, I can drink more later.
Oh, it's Justin.
I'm not in the mood, but still,
There's always
this could be an
time
interesting shot.
for a photo. Exit the Vortex Club. Jesus.
I'm never leaving this toilet.
I love how like they were like,
Vortex Club party.
there's no. Okay. Ah! I didn't want to do that. No, please stop. Okay. Can I? Aw, she got wet. I have not helped her all but once. I feel like this is too close. Oh, I thought that was a real shark for a second. I was like, Oh my gosh, there's too much stuff on the ground. Where are the moons? I bet you I have to get over here.
I'm so not impressed by this VIP crap.
Girl.
Excuse me, but I'm going in.
Sorry, but this is the VIP section. Members only. Okay?
Sorry, but
Okay.
I'm on the list, okay?
I know that Max Caulfield is not on any list for the Vortex Club. Nice try.
Listen.
No, you listen. Courtney is supposed to be the VIP gatekeeper, not me. So please
Wow.
go.
She didn't even look.
I need to find a way to enter this bullshit club. What would a shitty party be without glow sticks?
That's true. Close. All the dancing is so bad. Oh my gosh. Honestly, this is so loud. I have to turn this down just a tad. Oh wait, here we go. Oh, that's so much more tolerable. I feel like I should be able... Oh, here we go. Push. Uh-oh.
Okay, whoa, you stop the music, okay?
Not me.
Oh my god, DJ Jiro was checking me out.
Oh my god, the DJ is checking me out. Yes. Let's go. Definitely not me. I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Making out behind
Nathan
a
is
thing.
the Vortex Club. So his ass has
Fuck
to be here
your
tonight.
selfie. Oh, what an iconic phrase. I still don't see the moons. I don't know what I'm missing with that one.
This must make them feel extra crispy special.
Extra crispy special?
Yay, Max! I can't believe you showed up. Why didn't you tell me? We could have dressed up together.
As you can tell by my outfit, I was in a hurry.
Yeah.
Dana, have you seen Nathan around?
Hell no, I've been dancing with Trevor. Come on and dance with us. Look at Trevor trying to bust a move.
How's the end of the world going?
Great! This has been the worst fucking week of
Yeah.
my life, so
Yeah.
I needed to act like a
That
carefree
tracks.
student tonight. For Kate.
I hear you, Dana. But I want you to avoid Nathan if you see him, okay?
I will if I want to have fun. I still feel sorry for him. He needs help, but not from his family.
True.
What do you know about his dad, Sean Prescott?
Rich and rich and a dickhead, according to Nathan. The Prescotts can't buy a happy family or a happy club.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're ready for a change.
I don't need any club to be cool or have friends. Look at you. Plus, I
Aw.
like hanging with Trevor and his skater friends. No drama.
That sounds like
True.
a plan, Dana. I'm glad Trevor is with you tonight.
Thanks. The boy cannot dance, though. Look at that.
I know Victoria is next on Nathan's hit list. Should I warn her?
Victoria, your picture. Sorry, Max. Vortex Club members only.
Sorry, I'm on the guest list.
I'm taking you off.
Go fuck yourself, Victoria. I don't have time for this bullshit.
Real
Jeez.
cute, Max. And after I apologized to you the other day.
Do you even have a clue what's going on at Blackwell? Kate Marsh killed herself in front of you and me, everybody here.
That's not my fault, Max. Don't you even try to blame me.
I didn't. But,
I blame Nathan for dosing Kate, but nobody at that party even cared she was so wasted.
True.
It's a fucking party. Everybody is wasted. What do you want from me?
Some humanity, Victoria.
I'm the only person here who cares what Nathan is going through.
Do you?
I'm not the only problem child at Blackwell.
This is bigger than a problem child.
I'm not perfect, okay? I'm a teenager at an art school. I'm only here to become a photographer and get famous.
You have talent,
yeah,
Victoria.
I mean, she does.
You don't have to push
Even though she's a
people out of
bitch.
your way.
You don't understand. My parents own a gallery. I know how this art game has to be played. It's brutal.
No,
Jeez.
it's art. You don't have to play their way. Look at me. I got the judge of the contest suspended.
On point, Max. Thanks for admitting again that I have some talent. Not that I think I always do.
I don't either, but That's the choice you made.
Hard to believe, but I don't always make the best choices. Do you think it's like fate we're not supposed to be friends?
Maybe, but who says we have to be enemies?
Whoever
True.
makes that decision.
That would be us, Victoria.
Well, Max Caulfield, I could always choose to let you in the Vortex Club.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But not for the reasons you think.
Oh, you look so serious.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna warn her, because...
Victoria, listen to me. Your life is in serious danger. I know Nathan is your friend, but he is truly unstable and dangerous. He did drug Kate at that party so he could take her someplace dark.
What? Nice try, Max, but I don't believe you. And why would he do that?
That I don't know yet. But it was enough to make Kate want to die. And I think you're next.
Max, that is crazy. Nathan is like one of my best friends.
Yeah, but
yes,
he's,
he takes serious meds, but that's not his fault. His family treats him like a total freak just because he has little meltdowns.
They're not little anymore. They're deadly. I don't care if you hate me or not. You have to believe me.
You could have been a major bitch to me when I got hit with that paint, and I deserved it. Max, I don't hate you. I actually think you're one of the coolest people at Blackwell. Weird.
Wow.
But cool. You just don't know it yet. Maybe I'm jealous because you don't give a shit what anybody thinks, and I do. To be honest, Nathan has been freaking me out lately. He's not here, and I haven't seen him.
Just make sure you stay away from him. And stick close to your friends tonight, okay?
I let you boss me around this one time. And I have other people I can go to for protection.
Yay.
Thanks
She
for
wasn't
telling
a
me this,
total
Max.
bitch.
If what you said is true, then you be careful too.
I've got my own protection.
Text me if you need anything.
I will. Thanks, Victoria.
Au revoir.
Oh, hey, there she is.
Maybe there's hope yet for Victoria and me. I'm glad I warned her. I hope she's okay.
Want that photo, though? Can I... Yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. She is preoccupied now.
That son of a bitch is not here.
I want the moon
Where are
photo.
you, Nathan? I better get Chloe.
But I don't even see the moons. Oh, oh, here we go. There we go. I got it. We're good. We're good, everyone. Yeah, that's definitely something to take a photo of. 2 moons. I can't imagine what I would do if all of a sudden there were just 2 moons. Also, this is quite crazy. I literally cannot imagine an actual party like this at a school. Private party, sure. At a school, no.
There you are. Chloe, Nathan isn't here. Nobody has seen him tonight.
He's definitely not upstairs or in the lockers.
Damn. Maybe he's hiding in his dorm.
Then let's bail. Nathan can't hide anymore.
So, you made it, Max.
Oh, hey, Mr. Jefferson.
Are you both okay? You look like you're on a mission.
I think I am.
I was just looking for Nathan.
Uh-huh. I didn't know you were pals with him. I haven't seen him since this afternoon. He seemed pretty upset. I think he's still quite upset over the whole Kate situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's talk later, Max. I have to announce the winner of the contest. I do wish you would have entered. You have to build up that resume and portfolio, but I know you will.
Thanks. I hope so.
Okay, excuse me. I'm almost on.
Let's get the hell out of here, Max.
Yes, please.
Okay, everybody calm down. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Look, I don't want to get in the way of the party, but it's time to announce the winner of the Everyday Heroes contest.
Ugh. I missed that
Before I
one
do, I
photo
want to thank everybody who entered their
in this
photograph
section.
and everybody who thought about entering. Now this is the most important step in being an artist. Sharing your
Oh my
work with the
God.
world. All of you represent Blackwell Academy and everything our school stands for. As far as I'm concerned,
So sappy.
you're all everyday heroes. The envelope, please. And the winner is...
Victoria.
Oh my, what a shocker. Victoria Chase.
Who would have thunk?
Thank you so much, Mr. Jefferson. It was your incredible photography that brought me to Blackwell, and I hope I can live up to
Yeah,
your name
his photography.
and fame. I also want to thank all the students for being so dedicated in their pursuit.
Yeah, sure.
And I'd like to dedicate this prize to the memory of Kate Marsh. She was the real everyday hero of Blackwell. Thank you.
How nice.
Victoria won. Big surprise. I can't believe she blackmailed
Oh
Jefferson.
yeah, she did blackmail him.
Yes, I can.
Who fucking cares? Rachel is still dead, and I want Nathan's punk ass now.
Me too. Let's go check out the
She's
dormitories.
being a little emotional.
Oh, Christ. Nathan just texted me. He says there won't be any evidence left after he's done.
Shit. We have to go to the junkyard right now.
He just like decided to go to the junkyard. Why is it flickering? Oh, okay, it just disappeared. Sure.
Stop stomping around, Chloe.
Right. Just get ready to use your rewind fast if Nathan tries to jump us.
All right. What's gonna go down? Probably nothing good. Oh, I can move again.
Nope, I don't want to go there.
Oh, okay.
Are you okay? We need to hurry and get that motherfucker.
Jeez. I feel like this is
Fucking kill that little psycho.
slightly
I
different.
can't focus if you're yelling.
True.
Please.
I don't even remember where any of this stuff was. Paint?
Do you see him up there, Max? Hold on.
No. No Mr. Prescott here. Oh, I also can't walk faster. Is she behind me or something? Like, what?
Come back here. Don't leave me alone.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Max,
Oh my
stay
gosh.
close so we can be a team.
Scared me. Homegirl, I'm right here.
You're gonna suffer, Nathan.
Oh. Oh. Wow, they actually animated her walking over that. Oh. Oh my gosh, I do not do good with spooky things.
Rachel. Rachel.
Where are we going?
So creepy out here.
Max, please hurry.
It's the middle of the night.
Oh god, Max, look. She's still there.
Don't look, Chloe. Oh!
Oh!
No.
Oh!
Chloe! Look out!
What the fuck?
Oh, shit. Oh, right between the eyes. I can't rewind. Oh my god. I knew it was him, but oh my god. Well, that actually did not take as long to play as I thought it was going to. But it's like perfect timing. It's currently 12:04 my time. So yeah. Jefferson's the big baddie, and that's crazy. I know that things kind of get crazy, like weird in the last episode. Normally I would stream Friday, Saturday, but I actually was at a theatrical performance yesterday, so my stream got pushed back to tomorrow. So I will be finishing up the 5th episode of Life is Strange tomorrow, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I don't know if it'll take the full 3 hours. It could. If it doesn't, I'll play a little Disney Dreamlight Valley afterwards, just to kind of chill out from such a heavy game. So I'll do that. But otherwise, that's this. I don't. Oh, I can. So we can look at what we did. No one got hurt. Oh, I'm so glad that more people. Oh my god, 6% killed Frank. That's pretty split. I'm so glad she believed my warning. Wow. I don't remember any. I don't even remember seeing a bird. Didn't disturb the nest. You got his files in another way. Kate helped you find. Kate didn't help you. That's because she's dead. You didn't motivate him. I didn't talk to him. Oh, I should have. That would have been perfect. You figured out Nathan's pin code. You didn't? What if you do if you didn't? Can you get it another way? I guess you can. Oh, the sound is like messed up again. Thank God there's subtitles. Oh, look at him wearing gloves. It's a lot of drugs. Ooh, spooky. Oh, very loud. Okay. Polarized. Last episode. I played straight through that, and I did not expect to at all. So it's a little after 12. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, the last episode will be tomorrow, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next week, I'll actually be doing a special stream. And I'll be doing a split stream. So from 12 to 4, I'll be doing 1, and then 8 to 12, so a little earlier than usual. I'll be streaming the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I'll be starting with Violet. So if you want to watch some Pokemon, feel free to join me. You can feel free to follow me on my socials. Well, that did not come out right at all. But I do have my Discord. All of my socials get auto posted to Discord, so you can find that there. Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful evening.